Okay, so get this. We're going deep on AI today,
All right.
but with a bit of a twist.
Go.
We're looking at Canada.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and why they're kind of killing it in the AI world right now.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so our main source for this deep dive is, well, it's this article
Okay.
from a website called TATANKA. Have you heard of it?
I haven't, no.
So it's, well, it's kind of all over the place. Music,
Okay.
indigenous rights, futurism. It's an interesting mix.
Wow, that's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
It is. It really speaks to how everything's so interconnected these days. Like they're seeing the effects of AI on all these different things.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not just a tech thing anymore.
Right.
So the article is called Investing in AI, Why Canada is Leading the Way.
Okay.
And it was just published like a few days ago, November 5th, 2024.
Very recent.
Yeah, so it breaks down like 3 main reasons why Canada's at the forefront of all this AI stuff.
All right. Well, I'm ready to dive in if you are.
Okay, so first up is Canada's tech hubs.
Okay.
We're talking like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver.
Right. Familiar names.
Yeah. And the article basically calls them hotbeds for AI activity.
Okay. And each of these cities has its own sort of specialization.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not just a general tech scene. Like Toronto, they're all about attracting talent, getting that funding, the fuel for all this AI stuff.
Right. And they've got the Vector Institute there.
Oh, yeah, Vector Institute.
A huge research hub that works with all sorts of companies. So they're turning, all that cutting edge research into like actual solutions.
Yeah. And then Montreal, they've really become like the deep learning center.
Deep learning.
Yeah. For those who maybe need a little refresher, deep learning is that type of AI that uses, what are they called?
Artificial neural networks.
Yes, thank you, to, analyze data.
Right. It's like mimicking how our brains work.
Exactly. And Montreal has Mila.
Right. Mila.
Another one of these big research institutes. They're like leading the world in deep learning, pushing the boundaries of what's possible,
Absolutely pushing those boundaries.
Yeah, and then there's Vancouver.
Right. Can't forget Vancouver.
They're all about the practical side of things.
The applications.
Yeah, like healthcare, finance, even things like making traffic flow better in cities.
Wow.
So they're taking those advancements from places like Toronto and Montreal and figuring out how to actually use them,
Finding those real world uses. It's like Canada has this this whole AI ecosystem.
It is, yeah.
Where each city kind of plays its own crucial role.
Yeah, it's like not just competition. It's like they're all working together.
It's that collaboration, that's
Yeah.
driving their success. Which brings us to the second point from the article.
Okay.
Ethical AI development.
Oh, right. Ethics. That's a big one.
Right. As AI gets, more and more powerful, we have to think about how we're using it. And it seems like Canada's, they're ahead of a lot of other countries in that regard.
Yeah, totally. The article even specifically mentions the Canadian Institute for Advanced Research.
Sure.
Yeah, SciFar. And they're looking into those societal impacts of AI, like really diving deep.
Deep dive.
Yeah, like how algorithms can be biased.
Right.
And how AI could, change the job market. Even the philosophical stuff, like what does it mean to be human if machines are doing so much?
Yeah, that's crucial. I mean, technology should be serving humanity, not the other way around, right?
Exactly. And SciFar's research is like helping to guide AI development in a way that benefits everyone.
It's about making sure it's a force for good.
A force for good, yeah.
And it's not just research, though.
Right.
Canada's putting these ideas into action.
Yeah.
With policies, regulations.
Yeah, like actual rules.
Transparency and accountability are huge.
Yeah.
Like if an AI is making decisions that affect you, you have the right to know how those decisions are being made.
Oh, that's a good point.
And that's something a lot of other countries are still trying to figure out. It's all about building trust.
Trust, yeah. Okay, so we've got these thriving tech hubs, a focus on ethics. What's the third piece of this Canadian AI puzzle?
Well, it's collaboration. And I don't just mean between cities.
Oh, okay.
The article really highlights how Canadian universities and private companies are working together in the AI field.
Ah, so they're bringing the research and the real-world applications together.
Exactly. And they're not just building technology, they're building, a workforce for the future. Like the article talks about the University of Alberta.
Okay.
And how they're partnering with tech companies to do some really cool things with, have you heard of reinforcement learning?
Yeah, vaguely. Isn't that where you basically teach a computer to learn through like trial and error?
You got it. It's kind of like, imagine you're teaching a dog a new trick. You give them a treat when they do it right.
Right.
You correct them when they mess up. Reinforcement learning is kind of like that, but for AI. You set up a system where the AI gets, rewards for making good decisions.
Yeah.
And penalties when it makes a mistake.
Okay, yeah. I'm following you.
And through that process, it learns to do all these complex tasks.
That's really cool. But how does that tie back to, building a workforce?
Well, imagine you're a student
Okay.
at this university.
Yeah.
Studying AI. Instead of just sitting in a classroom, you're working on real projects.
Yeah.
With experts from these top tech companies
Oh.
using reinforcement learning. That's some serious hands-on experience, the kind of stuff that'll get you hired.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's not just about the research. It's about giving students the skills they need to, actually succeed in a future where AI is, everywhere.
Yeah. Exactly. And that kind of foresight, that commitment to preparing for the future. That's another reason why Canada is, they're just in such a strong position in the AI world right now.
Yeah, they're thinking ahead.
They are.
It's like Canada's got this well-rounded approach, Strong tech hubs, the focus on ethics, all that collaboration.
It's like they're playing the long game, right? Not just going after the latest trends, but really building a foundation. And, it makes you think about our source for this deep dive, that TATANKA website.
Yeah, with the music and indigenous rights and all that. What's their angle on AI,
It makes you wonder, right? Like they're hinting at maybe a bigger picture view of technology, one that brings in culture and values, not just data and algorithms.
Right. It's not something you see every day in the AI world.
We often get caught up in the technical stuff, how AI can automate things or boost the economy. But what about its effect on our culture, our identity even?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, where do we fit in with all this?
So where does TATANKA come into all of this?
Well, think about it. They're bringing all these different things together. Music, indigenous issues, futurism. It's like they're saying, hey, we can't just look at AI on its own. We need to think about how it affects everything.
So it's not just about building better AI. It's about building a better future with AI. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And that's where the indigenous perspective is so important. Those cultures have a deep, deep understanding of interconnectedness, living in harmony with nature, respecting elders and ancestors.
Right.
These are values we could all use a bit more of in this AI age.
It makes me think about what we were talking about earlier. Canada's focus on ethical AI, transparency, accountability. Could bringing in indigenous perspectives add something to that, like a whole new layer?
For sure. Imagine AI systems that aren't just designed to be efficient or whatever, but to be respectful of the environment, to promote social justice, to honor the values of the communities they're serving.
Okay, I like where you're going with this, but how do we actually do that? How do we incorporate indigenous perspectives into AI development? There's no instruction manual for that.
You're right, it's not easy. It starts with really listening, learning, building relationships with these communities. It's about recognizing that they have so much knowledge to offer, especially when it comes to dealing with big challenges and making decisions for the long term.
It's more about partnership than just taking their knowledge, right?
Exactly. Working together, co-creating a future where AI benefits everyone. And that's where the music and art from TATANKA come in, don't you think?
Yeah, like using those things to connect technology and culture.
Art has this power to break down barriers,
Mm-hmm.
Language, culture, it doesn't matter. It helps us connect on a deeper level, to see the world in new ways, to imagine possibilities.
Okay, so how does that work with AI? Like, give me a concrete example.
Imagine an art installation created by AI, but inspired by indigenous stories.
Yeah.
Or music that mixes traditional instruments with AI soundscapes. It's about exploring the intersection of tech and culture in a way that makes people think, but also in a way that everyone can enjoy.
So it's all connected then. The tech, the ethics, the collaboration, indigenous perspectives, art, music.
It is. And it all points to something bigger. Innovation isn't just about technology, it's about culture too. It's about recognizing how everything is connected and using that to build a future that's advanced, yeah, but also culturally rich.
We get so focused on the what that we forget the why, you know?
Why are we doing this? What kind of world are we trying to create? These are the questions we need to be asking, and Canada, in its own way, is starting to.
Maybe TATANKA is too, with their website. They're asking those big questions.
I think so. They want us to see AI differently, not just as a tool, but as a way to create a more just and sustainable future, one that's full of culture and vibrancy.
So, for our listener, what does this all boil down to? What can they take away from all this?
I think the big takeaway is that AI is more than just technology. It's like a mirror reflecting back our values, our hopes, our fears,
Mm.
and it's on us, all of us, to decide what we want to see in that reflection.
So it's not just about Canada's AI advantage. It's about how we as individuals, as a global community, shape the future of AI.
That's it. Our choices today will create the world we live in tomorrow.
AI is like this blank canvas, you know?
Yeah, and we're the artists.
Exactly. But instead of paint, it's our values, our choices,
Yeah.
all that stuff that makes up the picture.
And everyone gets to contribute, right? It's a collaborative piece.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Canada's AI advantage, it seems like it goes way beyond just, algorithms and investments and all that.
It's about a whole country figuring out what this means for them, their culture, their future.
Right, and they're doing it with this focus on doing things the right way, ethically, working together, getting their people ready for what's next.
Exactly. And that's something we can all learn from, right? No matter where you are, AI is going to affect everyone.
So what can our listener do? How can they be part of shaping this AI future?
Well, the first thing is to stay informed. Learn about all the different ways AI is being developed, how it's being used.
Right. Don't just accept it blindly. Ask questions. What are the good things? What are the bad things?
Yeah, the potential benefits and the risks. And think about your own values, too. What do you want to see in AI? Privacy, sustainability, inclusion.
Because those things need to be built into the technology from the start.
It's not enough to just use AI. You have to help shape it.
And this isn't just about the big tech companies or the government. It's about all of us.
Absolutely. Our choices, the conversations we have, what we do, it all adds up.
You know, that TATANKA website, even though we didn't find out a ton about them, it's like they started a conversation.
I got the ball rolling.
Yeah, exactly. And it's making us think about these connections between AI, indigenous knowledge, art, music.
It's a good reminder that AI doesn't have to be this cold, impersonal thing. It can be so much more.
Yeah, it could be a tool for connection, for creativity, even for understanding.
It could help us solve some of the world's biggest problems.
But only if we approach it the right way, right? With good intentions, wisdom, and a respect for humanity.
Exactly.
So that's it for a deep dive today. We went from Canada's booming tech hubs to ethical AI development, even talked a bit about the role of art and culture.
And hopefully we got people thinking, asking new questions, maybe even seeing the future in a different way.
Because in the end, the future of AI is really up to all of us, isn't it?
It's a story that's still being written.
And we all have a part to play in that story. All right, that's all from us. Until next time.
Keep on diving deep.